Hello everyone and welcome back to Genie Crafts. In today's video, we are going to see how we can build a bird dream catcher, or you can also use it as a interior decoration. You can hang it from the ceiling and it's going to look really beautiful. So this is what we are going to build today. So guys, let's get started. So the first thing that you're going to require is template for the birds. Now you cannot build too big birds because then it will not look good, so it has to be medium sized bird. This particular template that I'm using in this video is from the artist called Methacura, and in this particular template he has provided a design for 3 birds, the waxwing, bullfinch and titmouse. 3 birds he has provided. And I have directly taken printout on the colored craft paper since I was using only 200 GSM thick paper only. And for the black I have taken printout on plain paper, and I'll put it on top of black paper and then cut it out. Before assembling the low poly bird structure, you need to first prep the parts. So the first step in prepping the parts is cutting out the pieces. So choose a blade of your convenience, the blade which you are comfortable with, utilize that knife and then cut out the parts. So I am using the OLFA paper cutting knife, and using that I will cut out the part, and then we'll proceed to the next step of prepping the part. Take out the part carefully, and then using a metallic pencil or any blunt pointed tool, score the piece. So score along the lines, dotted lines that you see on your template printout. So using that tool, score the piece. You are basically creating crease, so do not press too hard, otherwise it will cut the papers. Just slightly put pressure and create the crease so that you can fold it at the right place. Since for black I have not taken printout directly on the craft paper, so I need to transfer the numbers from the part onto the cutout part so that later on I know where to connect which part. So using a white pencil or a white gel pen, transfer the numbers for further reference when you are assembling the model. For the pieces where you have directly taken printout on the colored part, this step is not necessary. And the last step in prepping part for a low poly model is to fold along the dotted line. So if it's a dashed and dotted line, then in that case you fold it outwards. This is also known as a mountain fold. And if it is a regular dotted line, then in that case you fold it inward, also known as a valley fold. So just fold along the lines and your part 1 is ready. Similarly, you will need to prep rest of the parts so that you can start assembling the model. Now this model from Methacura is very unique in the sense that it is 98% closed low poly model, but for the remaining 2% it is a open model, just like you can see on the screen right now the wing structure. The wing structure is not part of the closed low poly model, but instead slot has been provided on one of the pieces, and there the flap of the wing needs to get connected on the inside. So similarly there are some other pieces also in this particular model, and you will need to assemble it as you come across them. The reason I started with this just to demonstrate that how to assemble this. So in that case all the edges will not be connected. You'll only need to apply glue on one of the flaps, and I'm utilizing Fevicol to connect the pieces. So I apply the Fevicol on the flap, and then using a toothpick spread it evenly on the flap. Just ensure that you are not applying too much glue, and the layer of glue that you are applying on the flap is even and thin. That way it will connect quickly and you will not have to wait for it to stick to the required place. You can do the wings later also. I just wanted to demonstrate how to deal with the open parts. So once you are done with that, then you can go back to part number 1, 2, 3, 4 and it start assembling in the sequence. For the parts which are too small to handle, you can utilize a forceps or tweezer to hold them together. Carry on in the same way till you reach the last part, which is the tail of the bird. Now that's an open part and has to be handled differently. Once you reach the last part, you will see 2 open slots for closing the tail of the bird, but the tail itself is an open part, so you need to apply the glue not only on the flap but also on the pieces which are going to connect to the flap, and then insert the tail in between the two and then press it so that the tail gets connected to both the flap as well as the pieces on top of the tail. And with that last part, you will have your beautiful birdie ready. And now in a similar fashion, you need to prepare the other two birds also, so that we can proceed to the hanging assembly. So here are the three birds, and hats off to Methacura. As an artist, her templates are really good. The color combinations and everything is very awesome if you are able to get the right colors. So the three birds are done, and now let's get started towards the hanging assembly. For hanging the birds, I decided on a crescent moon shaped structure. So I drew that on a 5 mm thick sunboard sheet, and then with the help of a A11 paper cutting knife, I cut it along on the sunboard sheet. To make the moon shape a little bit more decorative, I pasted pastel white paper on one side of the moon and dark gray paper on the other side of the moon. So I had one light side to the moon and one dark side to the moon. Obviously you can use a lot of other decorative items like glitters and other decorative pieces and items which you can stick on the moon. So it's up to you how you want to decorate the moon. So I covered both the sides with these paper to make it look a little bit more attractive and also to hide the sunboard sheet. And the last step was to hang the birds from the crescent moon structure. So for that I utilized the regular stitching thread that you can find in any clothing shop or any accessory shop. So you can find this thread anywhere. Another benefit of using such a thin thread was that it is almost nearly invisible if you are taking video or taking photo of it. So it's very thin and it doesn't highlight so much. But it's not necessary that you have to use such a thin thread. You can also use decorative glitter threads and craft threads also, or silk threads also. It's up to you how you want to decorate or how you want to hang your birds. Also, when you're attaching these threads to the birds, you can utilize a tape to connect the thread or keep it connected to the birds, or you can also just pierce a hole in the bird structure and just pass the thread through it. So initially I used the tape, but later on with the help of a needle I created two holes and just passed the threads to it. At what part of the bird you are sticking the thread will depend the bird orientation. So if you want the bird to remain upright straight as you saw at the very beginning of the video, then you have to do it more towards closer to the head. But if you want the bird to tip down the head, then you want to do it more towards the tail end of the bird. So it's actually up to you how you want the orientation of the bird. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on innovative use of low poly structures, especially birds. If you guys liked this video, then please do not forget to hit the like button and share this video with your friends. Also to subscribe to my channel for regular videos on paper arts, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Till then, stay safe, take care, and bye bye.